constantly too, though. You get one year where they'll eat conifers, and then the next year they don't. So something in their minerals.
Well, they pretty much just walk through and say, nothing here.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with them being cheetah. So.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them eat a hinoki cypress to the nubbins and eat all the leaves off the roadies, and then one season, and the next season they didn't. You know, that was stuff on Millennium Hill.
Just plant sacrificial dogwood in the grove. Sprinkle a few apples in the trails until they find out where it is. They'll just go there, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
No real cure now.
Now I know one area where coyotes are eating the deer away, but that might be a two-edged sword as well. So
You'll lose your animals.
there are solutions, and one area is if you have dogs, then you can let them out for another.
Every dog in Sequim sleeps on the bed at night.
I know this sounds ludicrous, but a moat would work.
With a moat?
A moat with a fence on. Deer can jump high and they can jump long, but they can't do both at the same time. So if you, another suggested solution is to put in 2 fences. So instead of just having one fence, have 2 fences. They can't jump over.
Or even a wire in front of the fence like that, because they can't get close enough, like you say.
They can go, have you ever seen them go under anything? I've seen them go under something that's, I mean, they just go like flat like a cat. And they just,
Yeah, so you either have to keep them out with an appropriate fence or spray, some of the products.
Now, how do you keep the spray on with it raining all the time?
You have to
Spray it all the
catch
time?
it after rain or irrigation or whatever, you have to constantly put it on.
Yeah.
It's a thing where you just have to be aware. when
You
you're
just got to go
planting,
love them.
Know that if you want something that you're going to eat, that you're going to have an intent to it, and spray it a lot. Try not to put too much out there that they're going to eat. That's every job we do is the deer is a factor, so you have to decide where you're going to put a plant somebody likes, which, you're going to, it's hard to find places in some instances. So the first thing you do is decide what plants are available that we can use on the site and which ones we can't.
As you're speaking of deer, are there any tall plants that you could put where the deer are? I mean, they don't eat my lavender, they don't eat my rhodies very much, they don't eat my grasses, but, everything's sort of one.
There's a lot of plants, yeah. There's a lot of plants that you can use if deer don't like that are tall. In deciduous and also in conifer or evergreen leaf too. So depending on your height, you're looking for something taller.
Yeah, something in the 6 to 8 foot range.
Yeah. But a ceanothus, it'll get froze out. But that's what we're trying to decide is, when you get deer and not freeze and all those things. So your heights, you kind of jump over when you go Portuguese laurel, which you can't get luck with those, and higher, taller backgrounds, but that's going to go over that height. So when you get into the 6 to 8 foot, then you're looking at some of the plants that we were having troubles with the freezing. So
There's not much in the 6 to 8 foot that's, has the criteria of deer resistant. Escalonian and ceanothus both to some extent, but then now that what are we getting into zone 8A?
Yes.
Yeah, we are. For the last 3 years.
Good article, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So possibly conifer, they're dwarf conifers that will stay that range. That's probably a good choice because they're hardier and deer resistant.
Not all conifers. There's some really cool looking emerald green pyramidalis that
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
they have a lot of top growth, but there's nothing down below. They're really
We have a name for them.
yeah.
I was just going to comment, I'm familiar with Indiana deer, not the deer out here, but the Indiana deer are bigger. We put up a dog fence that was 6 foot tall, and actually a deer got caught in the yard and broke the fence when she jumped out. And they never came in after the 6 foot dog fence put up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the deer are more fleet.
6 foot is on the borderline there. I've seen some deer not do it, but then I've seen them get over.
Well, I was amazed that she couldn't make it out of the yard.
Yeah.
7 or 7.5 foot is what we usually express, yeah. 7.5.
Well, there was such good eating in Indiana that they didn't have to bother with jumping the fence.
Yeah, a lot of places have a 6-foot height restriction, and so that's always difficult because the deer can get in there. But typically, when you get into that, you put a wire on the top or something ugly, because you've already invested in the fence and gone as high as you can.
We have some fender fence, and they suggested when you put the wire up, you put a little white ribbon
Yes.
periodically spaced, and they said that the white ribbon will actually fake the deer out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, even fishing line would do it then, just so they can see there's something there.
They just need to see, and they see it moving. They said that the deer work more off of peripheral vision, so they see movement. So if you have something that will move, they'll pick that up peripherally, and that'll influence them more than something that's just there as a solid object.
I've seen that effective,
Has anybody heard of night guard? It's a little blinking red light that goes on and it's solar powered. And you put them at the ends of your garden and make sure that they're crosswise. And it's supposed to mimic the predators, the big red eye, so that at night anyhow, the deer will not come close to the blinking light. Not that I'm going there, okay.
I've seen a lot of things come out of it over the years like that.
Red light.
Yeah, you gotta move them. Yeah, you gotta move.
Same thing with water.
Yeah.
Would that help with crows or
So the deer were here first and they're going to stay. Just like, what's that little plant that we hate? And horsetail. Everywhere. Everybody know the last frost date in Sequim is April 17th? And you know that the frost date is 50% before and 50% after. That's how they pick it. So you got a 50-50 shot that it's actually going to occur on that date. And in the last couple of years, of course, we're getting more and more towards and after that date. And we are in the 12th year of a 12-year drought. A couple of things to consider in watering.
We live in Sequim because we live, everywhere, like it's a rain shadow, and what, average rainfall, usually 13, I think it was 12 last year, it was 12 last year. So you have to plant smart in Sequim. You really have to. Water is not a sustainable resource. I mean, it's just, you got to pay attention to what you plant to make sure the right plant, right place is important. And not all plants are suitable. There's a lot of hype about native plants. And when people come into the nursery and say, where's your native plant section? I kind of know what they're looking for. They're looking for drought-tolerant plants, not specifically natives. If we had native plants here, well, you go back to before they put the ditch in the 1890s, you would have cactus here and sagebrush and all that stuff. So native to where? Native to Western Washington, native to Washington, native to what? But I think what most people are thinking about are drought-tolerant plants, but there are a lot of really, really good drought-tolerant plants. So don't let just the word native throw you off a little bit.
I get that a lot in design, landscape designs, when I do a native landscapes, that kind of thing. That's exactly what it is.
That's what they want, drought tolerant.
And they would not be happy with the look of it, because they want something to enhance their house. So first thing is to sit and decide what it is they're looking for. It's drought tolerant, and you want to do a design that works well, and the plants look good in the house when it's done. The design works well with thinking about the environment and everything. So you have to go through the whole process to get that right with people, what they're looking for. But native plants is natural plants. There's so many different terms for it. There's definitely ground covers and things that are